Hi guys, welcome or welcome back. Thanks so much for joining me. It is that time of the month again, not that one, it's challenge review time. So basically, like I've just said, it is the first Friday of the month, and therefore that means that it's time to go through last month's challenge entries. Last month's challenge was cold/cool, which we'll get onto in a little second. But if you're brand new here, then hi, I'm Jess. I'm a portrait photographer, a pretty decent one, based out of England in the UK. I want to pause this right this very second to just say a huge congratulations to one of our premium members, MTOG Kat Delat, who has successfully achieved a finalist position in the top 10 shortlist for the Federation of European Photographers in the domestic animals category alongside me. So I'm not sure yet if I'm going to be going to Rome to the award ceremony, but even if I don't, I'm sure Kat will beat me on scores. So congratulations to Kat. I hope that you really enjoy this experience. So yeah, with that out of the way, congrats Kat. Yeah, if you're new here, consider hitting the subscribe button, hit the bell icon if you want to. The bell icon will give you a notification every single time I upload a video. I upload every single week, always on a Friday at 12 noon, sometimes more than that if I feel like it and if I have time. And yeah, there's just quite a lot going on behind the scenes. So I'm going to try and keep this as streamlined as possible. As always, we've pulled the challenge entries off of Instagram, cropped them up, so we've got no identifying marks apart from watermarks if the photographer has put those on. And then what we've done as well is I've already pre-screened, gone through and batched things up into categories. We're going to go through the grouping method this time because it's absolutely impossible to go through every single image. We just simply do not have time. So I'm going to go through the individual groups that I've created, hopefully give everybody a bit of feedback that hopefully will help them to grow, improve and see where they could have enhanced their image if they have submitted. If you've never submitted before, please do consider doing so. It's completely free to enter. You just need to put your brave pants on and follow the instructions, which will be linked in the blog post below. I would consider sticking around and watching the critique because you might just learn something that helps you with your journey, either now in the challenges or externally to, you know, just basically make you a better photographer, which is, I think, what we're all here for anyway. Okay, thank you very much to everybody who has entered. There were some images that I've already taken out because either they were duplicates, probably most of the time. There's a couple of people who consistently use the hashtag on every single post they post. Please don't do that because it's just a bit of a pain in the backside. So on screen right now, we've got everything, but I've pre-grouped, so we'll just kick things off and go straight into group number one. The grouping method is there to hopefully highlight and show similar issues or things that could be worked on with images as we kind of go through. So yeah, buckle up, let's go through group number one. Group number one is the red group. Red group is not cold enough. Okay, so these guys have been entered in the hashtag, but I'm not feeling a vibe of the coolness, hence why they're in red group. Let's move along to green group. Okay, so what is green group? Green group is a special group where they all have got individual stuff, but I really wanted to pick them up. So I'm going to start with this one over here on this side. You guys asked previously to have these put larger on the screen when I go through them individually, so hopefully this is sufficient for you guys. This one, I like the image. I think it would have been successful. However, the focus is here and the focus really needed to be here, which is where I feel like the focal point of the image actually is. So it's mainly a focus issue on that one. This one here, it's been over sharpened in post. Just a little bit too much detail coming through on this section here, but it's a great concept and a really good effort in terms of using that reflection creatively. This one here is the lighting for me, so it's just really harsh, quite flat light. It would have been probably more successful if the lighting had been done from the top or was more directional. As it stands at the moment, it's just a bit flat. So that is green group, and we'll just whiz straight along over to blue group. So blue group is a really interesting group, okay? So blue group is a group of composition / posing / subject / other bits and pieces that are to do with kind of what's happening in the image. So in this group, we have got mainly some compositional things at play, but sometimes some subject and some kind of angle of shot, that kind of thing. So I'm just going to pick a few and kind of run through. These are all really, really good pictures. I think they're all super. It's just like, for example, with this image, it's a super image of a ridgeback. The focus is on the shoulder, but we're looking at composition here specifically. What we needed, because Puppa's looking to the left, we needed more space to the left. So like if we were looking at this image here, we would want it to kind of like go like to here. Does that make sense? Because Puppers are looking and moving in this direction, so we need the space at that side. There is a composition video on the channel. I'll go ahead and link that above, but I'm considering making a new one. Let me know if you think that would be useful for you. So that's one of the composition options. So just really be focusing on, if the pup is looking to one side, make sure that that space is at that side. So this one really could have done with having additional space up there, and watch that you're not chippy chopping off the little toesies. So we don't want to slice off too close to the feet. Give the dog, give the subject, whatever it is, room to stand on there. So again, this is just not enough space under here. Super shot, I really like the vibe of it, but it's just not enough space. Space at the top here, beautiful shot. I love this one. This was a hard one to put into this camp, but we know we have to be honest, we have to be clear. So the compositional side of things, I feel like I've covered. Some a little bit tight. The second point that I wanted to cover on this one is to do with angle of shot. So there's a few images that share a similar issue in terms of angle of shot. So this one and this one, so let me just bring those two up. This one and this one, and there are others as well, would have been so much stronger had the photographer come right down onto the subject's eye level. So it just would have made the images stronger in general, and so that's why those guys are in here. And then there are also a couple of other points that I want to pick up on to do with subject posing and expression. Now, we can't control everything, especially not with dogs. I mean, nope. But there's a few little bits that I want to pick up on in terms of posing. So let me just grab these two shots that I wanted. So the situation for me with these images is mainly to do with the posing. So it's not that the dogs are posed badly or posed incorrectly or that something's wrong with the posing. It's more to do with expression and focus in terms of the subject's focus on something. There is not really any intensity here, and a couple of these guys look a little bit uncomfortable, a little bit disinterested. So it's just more to do with that. This one I particularly like. I think this is a super shot. I just wish that the subject looked a little bit more relaxed in terms of that, and this one I wish that they looked a little bit more alert. So that is group number blue. That's not a number. Group blue. Group the blue one, okay? So this is the blue group. This one down here, if anybody was wondering, it's more to do with the angle. So our church spire here has got a lean. The buildings are all kind of leaning towards the left here. Just needed to have a little bit of a straightness in the perspective on that one. Okay, so that is blue group. Purple group, oh, so many of purple group I'm totally here for. And with some teeny tiny weeny changes, these guys would have done so well. So purple group consists of, again, a group of things mixed into one. So we've got number one, backgrounds that are too busy. So distracting backgrounds that are pulling the eye away from the subject, pulling the eye onto something else. And the second point of this group is to do with the eye in general. So when we look at an image as a human, our eyes will travel through the scene, and where our eyes stop is completely dependent on where you, as the photographer, the creator, wants us to look. And that's to do with composition, but it's also to do with editing and lighting. So in some of these images, the subject matter, the focal point that we want our eye to look at is not clear. So it's not clear enough for me. And so in actual fact, what happens is my eye just travels around the image trying to find something to look at. But in the process, it's not really catching on to anything. So for specific examples of this, which I feel like I'm going to get asked for anyway, so I'll go ahead and find some. So specific examples of this include this one and this one. This one is just a little bit too snowy for me, but it's kind of the same principle in action. This one, I'm just kind of traveling around the image quite a lot, to be honest. I can't quite pinpoint where I'm supposed to be looking. These guys, kind of all the same. That one a little bit busy background, but we're just kind of like, our eyes are like, whoa, where am I looking? And it's not super clear. This one I think is the one exception to the camp in all of these. I think it's a super sweet shot, but I just feel like there's just a lot going on that didn't need to all be going on. The subject is so small in the frame, just could have done with a little bit more, but it's kind of getting a bit lost, my eyes not being directed. So what do we mean by the background thing? So let's go ahead and look at some of the background ones. So that one, these guys, it's more that the subject's kind of like fighting with everything else in the scene, and it makes it really difficult to, again, lock your eye onto what the photographer wants you to look at. So that's an example of these guys. And then an example of just a general subject situation that kind of falls into background a little bit. This one's into background. But this one, and I'm being very picky here because they are pretty damn awesome shots in their own right. The issue that I've got is that they just need a little bit more oomph to come through, right? Does that make sense? I think that these are all super shots, particularly, I just really like that one. I find that so intense. I think it's great. It just is a little bit dark and it just needed a little bit more direction in terms of where the view is looking. Consider using your radials. You guys, I know that you all will know how to do that. Just consider using your radials to throw a little bit of light up in where you want the viewer to look, and these images would be completely different. So just a point to note on those ones. So purple group, a little bit of a confusing one, but it's more to do with the backgrounds and the separation and where your eye looks. You don't have to have everything behind the subject completely blurred. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is that construct the image in a way that makes it very easy for our eyes as a viewer to just go straight onto, I don't even know what that was, but you know what I mean, straight onto the subject in terms of where you as the creator, as the photographer, want us to look. And that's the key takeaway from this group. So that leaves us with yellow group. Yellow group is a very important group because yellow group don't really have anything going wrong. Yellow group are all awesome shots. They just didn't have enough power for me, okay? So there's nothing wrong with these shots. They just needed a little, and do you know what? I had some feedback from somebody who I did a one-to-one with recently. I'm not going to say his name. A really lovely bloke from over in America. And he said to me that he's always in this group. I don't know if he is in this group in this one, but he says he's always in this group and it's always really frustrating because he sits and waits for everybody to get their feedback, and then he's in that it's all right but it's not great category. That's not what this is. These guys, you guys are all doing great work. Everything's right in all of the right places. I just needed a little bit more. So consider, again, looking at where the viewer's eye goes, a little bit more contrast, looking at your composition. Is there something you could have done more creatively? That's what this group is all about. So this kind of is similar to this group. Okay, so yeah, this group is my long shortlist, my long list, my shlong. No. Oh, what am I doing? You know, the sad part is that I know immediately that is going to go straight into the outtakes, but probably also will be left in this video so that everybody can watch it on YouTube, which is great. Okay, so this is my long list. This long list is what I personally feel are the cold, icy feeling images that really do nail the topic and also do super well with their photography skills. So these guys, if you're on this page, then absolutely massive congratulations to you. You deserve a 10 out of 10 medal because you've done an amazing job. There's a couple of images in here that I think I would like to kind of run through because there's things going on that I think are really worth discussing. So number one is this image here. So this image of a cat is absolutely gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. I think it's super image. And I love the warm backlight that we've got coming through and how the snow feels so super cool. I think it's gorgeous. The thing for me is that the cat's moving this way, yet the lightest part of the image is up here. And so what that does is it gives us a little bit of a psychological battle to look where the photographer and where the subject is moving us to look with our eyes. And so what really we could do with doing is doing a background flip. It is doable. It's in the MTOG resources if you are a premium member. So it is in there for a background flip. That would be super useful on this one. Or alternatively, look at toning down that highlight and then bringing more light to the subject. So you kind of reduce the strength of the battle a little bit, but realistically this is a super short, just would be those little points for me personally. Okay, what else? I'm going to move on to this one here. Really like this. Also really like your watermark. Very nice, very good signature. With this one I get the vibe of the fact that we're cool and we're cold and we've added the breath coming off. The thing is the subject's mouth isn't open and the breath is kind of congregating a little bit too close to here. Realistically it would be seen here where the light is hitting behind it. because that's where we see breath. So there's nothing wrong with this shot. It's just I would have reduced this kind of breath effect a little bit more around the face and nose because the mouth's not open and therefore the breath's not going to be coming out with that much force. Does that make sense? Hopefully that made sense. So a few more things to pick up on. This one here, I absolutely love this. However, the subject just looks like it could be a little bit soft, just a little bit, but I'm unsure. So that's why I've left it in this group, because I love it and I love the vibe and I love the light. I'm just not convinced here, okay? I'm not convinced. This guy over here, really like it, just compositionally could have done with a little bit more work. Also, again, similar thing, question on focus. It looks very sharp here. So I'm guessing the eyes are in focus. Could be an Instagram thing, but the main thing for me on that one is just the composition. It's just a little bit squished low down in that bottom corner. I don't know why I'm like reliving these images. So there's nothing wrong with any of these. There's nothing wrong at all. I just want to pick up on this studio one because we don't often have the studio editions. Super shot, this one. Really like it. Just watch that you don't have too many ripples in your fabric in the background if the rest of it is smooth, because our eyes will go straight to these little areas. And also consider just upping the light levels just a little bit around the face and head of both dogs. Consider accentuating with your contouring, just as a tip there, okay? But really nice shot. Love how it's been framed, really good. Okay, we've got a flat lay in here as well, which I like. I like the fact we've gone creative with the popsicles. Think it's really super. I like this. I just dislike the level of brightness coming up in this top corner. Just consider toning down slightly so that it's more about the popsicles and less about everything else. Okay, that's what I'm going to run to because we're going to run out of time, and I know that Dan's going to start chopping and I don't want him to, so we're going to whiz through to my actual short list, which if you can see the stars, you've already guessed them. This is my short list. Really love all of these images. They've nailed everything in every single aspect, and I'm totally here for it. So what I'm going to do as I'm making my final decision on who's going to get the pins, we've got the gold pin, the silver pin and the bronze pin. Whilst I'm making that decision, I'm just going to flick through them on the screen so you guys can see them as well. So we've got this one here, which I really like. I'm totally here for this. I think this is gorgeous. Gorgeous. I don't know whether I feel cold enough. That's my only concern with this one. Lovely one here. I recognise the dog. It's not like we don't know who this is by now. I think everybody does. If you're a fan of this one, then pop it in the comments below. I like this one, I really do. I think the branches actually add to it. Most would say that it would detract from it, but I actually like it. Compositionally, very strong. We've already mentioned this one. This one I think is a really sweet shot. I like the composition of it. Maybe a little bit too much space to the left hand side, though I understand your compositional decisions. This one I think is really good because you would have to have eagle eyeballs to have spotted this in the environment, and I just really like it, and I like the light, and I like the fact it's nicely backlit, but it's not too backlit, and it's good, okay? I just really like it. This one, totally nice, impactful. I just wish this could have been straightened slightly. As you can see, there is a slight left-hand downward tilt for the head because the eyes, this eye is slightly lower than this eye. If that was straight, this would be much stronger. Something maybe to consider. And also this little snowflake over here, it's just the odd one out. So something to maybe consider. I really like this, minimal, love it, totally here for it. This one I think is super sweet. I think compositionally it's good. I like your layers that you've got involved in here. Little bunny's okay. I don't have any issues with little bunny here. I like it. I like the shot. I think it's good. This one is so powerful. I think it's super fantastic technical control, fantastic highlight control, fantastic shadow control, and fantastic action shot. Love the powder snow going on. Love it. This one I think is absolutely gorgeous. I've already seen this one, but I know it didn't start off like this, so I know that this is a reasonably heavy edit to turn it from definitely not snowy into snowy. I think you've done a good job of making that look realistic. I just would have liked a little bit of snow settling on the subject, just to make it a little bit more realistic and maybe a little bit more of a softer blend on the tail. Oh, we're back at the beginning. So that brings us back to here, and it's time for us to pick our pins. I'm not going to agonise over this because I've already decided. I decided before we started recording so that we didn't have an hour of deliberation. And I can't quite remember what I picked because it was such a tough choice. All of these are fantastic. I love them all. Which one would you pick as your bronze, silver and gold pins? So we've got the top line, bottom line and left to right. Let me know in the comments below because I'd be super interested to find out. That sounded really insincere, but I actually would be really interested to find out, so please do let me know. Okay, right, let's pick. We need to pick. Whittling down. Because of the things that I've literally just talked about, that's where we're going. Final ones. There's still time for me to change my mind. But no, I'm still here. I'm still here for it. Yep, I am. Okay, we're going to go with gold. Gold down at the bottom here. Number 1 is gold pin. Congratulations. And then we're going to go for silver, because it's technically and compositionally bang on, and bronze. But realistically, all of them could be gold because they're all epic. Let's go and find out who our photographers are. Okay, not in the right order here, guys. We've got bronze, silver, and gold. Gold is Alessia Monaco.pet photography. Congratulations, you've won the gold pin. If you would like to receive your pin to put on the images to then share, feel free to drop us an email. I'll put that information in the blog post below, so go on ahead and have a look. In silver, we've got Amy Aussie, not a surprise to anybody that recognises the dog. Also, would like to point out the fact that Amy Aussie has used the hashtag for us. So this is not the challenge hashtag, this is not the challenge hashtag, this is our hashtag, our feature hashtag. So that tog shot as a hashtag is what we feature every single day. We put a that tog shot post of the day onto our stories, so that has been entered to that as well. Congratulations. Well, here is Amy Aussie's picture, and we'll go whiz back out to look at the bronze image. This is the bronze image by Lucy Fur. Also, absolutely love the fact that you've tagged your location as my garden. I'm here for that. I'm here for it completely. So super work, absolutely fantastic. Congratulations to all of you guys. Really super. We'll be in touch to basically ask if we can put the images in the magazine. That's what we do. Okay. March. I don't know why I'm getting so excited about this, but I am. The March challenge is a good one. I'm very excited for the March challenge. The March challenge is panoramic. So pano, as a theory, is essentially the principle of stitching images, there's lots of different definitions, but a pano image is an image that is at least twice as wide as it is tall, or at least twice as tall as it is wide. So it has to be at least a 2:1 ratio in terms of the crop. That is the absolute firm criteria for this challenge. Your entry has to be at that crop. So consider watching How to Post to Instagram and Not Crop Stuff, the video that I released the other week. I'll link that above, because that will help you to work within Instagram's crop constraints, but still have your pano image on a carousel, which is probably how you're gonna have to do this. You can embed your pano image behind another image at the front. In a carousel, that's completely doable as well. Now, pano stitching isn't that difficult. It is something that we have covered before on the channel. You just have to dig deep. There are also other tutorials on there as well. If you would like me to give you guys a pano stitching tutorial, then just ask in the comments, okay? And I can get one done for you by my birthday, which is the 2nd week of March, okay? So I can do that for you, but you're gonna have to ask and let me know if you definitely need that. So you need to make sure that the image is at least twice as wide as it is tall, or at least twice as tall as it is wide, with a 2:1 crop. That is the only specific criteria. You do not have to stitch images, but if you do, then, you know, brownie points, because you've at least tried something maybe a little bit different for you. Now, the inspiration for this was my image of Frecky on the Lock, which is a wolf dog on the water, which has been entered into international competition and has 4 recognitions and has done it really well. So Frecky on the Lock is a pano stitch. I think it was 7 vertical images that were stitched side by side to achieve the final image, and yeah, it's not that hard. Now, there is a full edit of a pano stitch on the membership. I think there's actually 2 of them. One of them is Frecky on the Lock, so that image and one very similar to it was worked up through with a stitching process for the premium members. That's in the premium membership. Entry instructions are linked in the blog post below. I really hope to see some of you guys trying this one out. You will have to be creative with your Instagram crops, so may the odds be ever in your favour. If you get really stuck, then just shout, but please do go ahead and refer back to the videos that I mentioned earlier. I'll put them in the blog post and in the description below, just to make sure that you've got them handy. Congratulations again to our winners of the gold pin, silver pin and the bronze pin from the cold/cool challenge. I think you've done a really super job, and I can't wait to see you guys soon. Stay safe and make sure that you hug your loved ones, because yeah, it's a rough world out there. I'll see you all again really soon.